I am attributing this little improvisation sequence to the late great Tony Williams. There's something going on the internet. You know what's funny about it? I don't even know the guy's name. He had messaged me a while ago, and he said today he was having a tribute to the late great Tony Williams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contribute a couple of things away that I learned. Well, actually, I literally stole. You want to call a cop? From Tony Williams. I'm basically a rhythmical thief. I steal from everybody, but I won't steal your property, though. But I will steal your ideas and then mold them into my own play. If you guys are rather interested in speaking to me about anything, lessons, anything you want, give me a call. But let me get to the business. Let me get to the business of what I would like to play on here. Basically, this motif was in the Believe It album, and it was part of the solo. But now I'm not going to do the solo, but I'm going to introduce you to the motif. It was a triple implication. That's kind of the way it went. I'm not going to get into the analysis of it, but I'll tell you this much. Mr. Spock. I'm not sure, but you guys are right. Can really have some fun with it. Let me change it around. Uh, Stanley Spector once said, the vaudeville orchestra hasn't died. And I really believe that. Anyway, I don't know whether or not the sound quality of this recording will really be good because I'm recording this from my giant iPad. It's not the greatest sound quality. It might be a little muffled. We'll see what happens, but that's what I might take. All right. There was one little fluffer right that I created there. Thank you. No cigar, but notice the way like I took the motif and just created different scenarios, and that's what I do best, by the way. I like to kind of take those ideas and play them over and over again in different scenarios, and everything that I did was completely improvised. You guys can call me at area code 516-263-9782 if you might be interested in studying, or if you would like to, speak to me about anything significant, you can email me at jindyke54@gmail.com. That's primarily to get on my contact list. So don't direct me too detailed with any communication because I don't really spend too much time reading my emails, especially life stories. So don't give me any of that because I probably won't have the time to read it. But I will have time to respond to any questions and any constructive ideas. But if you have anything mean to say, as Don Pantalaro once said, if you don't have anything nice to say about anybody, please don't say it. I do want to tell you a little bit about something that I really, really regret. When I was teaching, I was able to get Mr. Tony Williams' number. And, I called him and I was going to schedule a lesson with him. For some reason, my schedule got really, really busy. It definitely would have been worth it, right? Just to meet the man and talk to him and find out about his approach to everything because I idolized, right, his work totally from the beginning. But my favorite album of all time, and it's actually one of the top drum albums of all time, and I actually did some CDs based off of it. It was called Believe It, and it was Tony Williams, and Alan Holdsworth, who was on that record, along with Pasquale, I think was the keyboard player, I forgot his name, and Tony Newton, I believe, was on bass. And that was the original Tony Williams' Lifetime. There were also different versions of the Lifetime. I think Bill Connors did some stuff, but that was my favorite record of all time. And by the way, like the late Alan Holdsworth, that was one of his very early records. And man, like he defined himself on that record. And Alan Holdsworth wrote many of the compositions as well. And they were perfect for Tony's style because Tony went from sort of like as a swing drummer, playing with Miles Davis when he was 16 years old. It was unbelievable to the level that he went. And I really regret the fact that I never got a lesson in with the guy. And it wasn't really. He passed away really too soon. Very, very sad. But anyway, I miss him, but I cherish his work, and you can always hear his work. Uh, he did the Joy of Flying, which was done right, I believe, with Ronnie Montrose. And I have a live CD of him with Ronnie Montrose and Brian Auger. Talk about a combination. It's like a monster movie. And there was also a bass player, I forgot his name. And then, of course, Tony Williams recorded on Vulcan Princess, which was actually Stanley Clarke's amazing composition. He recorded on that record. He's recorded on many, many records, but those two particular records really influenced me a lot. I love the way Tony, those flam things. I might do some other segments, but Tony Williams was just unbelievable. And when he played in Miles Davis, it was a whole other story. That was like sort of straight ahead jazz, which is not something that I'm really good at demonstrating upon. So that's why I like when he made the transition to the bigger, kind of to the rock type stuff. And I think the way Red Alert, right, was the most exciting song, and then some of those offbeats that he did. And if this tribute to him goes well, I might even do some commentaries on some of his playing and talk a little bit about his genius, because he was a total genius and he influenced a lot of what I do. So I hope you guys found this bit of information useful, and they don't call me the professor for nothing. I got a lot of stuff rattling around in my head. Peace and love. Facebook me too. But be nice. Beam me up, Scotty. Ha!